Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to explore a new feature of LuBan, which is called multiple planar cut. It is a feature in the cutting function. We open LuBan software, go to File, Create 3D Shape. I'm going to use a coin as an example. If we go to Mesh Cut and set the method to planar cut, usually you can just apply a cut to cut an object into two. However, we have many feedback from users that is it possible to make multiple cuts? Previously, if you want to do multiple cuts, you have to cut it first. You have to make one cut. This becomes two objects. And then you need to open one of the cut object. And then apply cutting again. You have to apply another cutting to it. So it's not convenient. In the new LuBan, we can now have a number of cutting planes. So if I increase the cutting plane, as you can see, the maximum is 10. In this version, I have set 10 planes to be the maximum number of planes you can add to an object. And you can adjust each plane. This is the first plane to adjust. It's indicated in red. You can change which plane to adjust. Okay. And if for this simple example, if I don't adjust anything, I click cut. I will get 11 parts cut by 10 planes. Okay, let us do some more interesting adjustment. I'm going to close this example. Wait, close. Then I will open organic model. Okay, we have this organic model. I want to cut the leg and the hands and the arms off in one button click. So if I click cut, I have 10 planes. So for now, I'm going to only use one plane. Okay. And I will not do a full planar cutting. Instead, I will do regional cut. Okay, maybe for the leg, I can do a planar cutting because the plane is not intersecting other part of the body. I just need to move it up a little. Okay, as an example, this is our first cutting plane. Then we set the second cutting plane. And I'm going to adjust the second plane. Make it red. For the second plane, I will use regional cut. So this is the second plane. For the regional cut, you have 4 additional parameters to change. If you are familiar with LuBan cutting function, this shouldn't be difficult for you. You can move up and down. You can resize it, and you can move left and right in X and Y direction. Okay, for this plane, I'm going to cut the leg. So I need to adjust maybe somewhere here, the orientation. Then I will move it up. Yeah, maybe something like this. To save time, I'm going to move on to the third plane. Again, adjusting the third plane. Similarly, I will use regional cut. And I'll move the plane to this arm. Set it to 1, set it to 1, and set this to 0. These are the orientation of the plane. Move it up. Okay, too big. Something a little bit backwards. Okay, and then the orientation is a bit off. Yeah, this is better. Something like this is better. Okay, yeah, to save time, that's you can fine-tune the orientation, but to save time, I won't do further adjustment. Then maybe another one, the fourth plane. For the fourth plane, I will also do regional cut. And now I'm going to cut this arm. 1, 1, 0. Okay. The radius is too big, and I want to move it up. Yeah, maybe something like this. Okay. Cut off the hand. Okay, yep, that's it. So I've adjusted. I have made 4 planes to cut. And I can click cut. So adjusting these planes does take a while, but the cutting results is what we expected. 5 parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you can use object select to see the 5 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this is going to be more convenient than the previous approach. You have to save, reload, etc. Okay, that is all about this new interface. Before we finish, I want to mention a limitation of the method. So I'm going to close the model and show you a limitation of the cutting method, torque. If you have a loop in your 3D model, and you might think that you can use multiple planar cut to cut it. Okay. I'll put this somewhere here. Okay. You might think with these two planes, and when you hit the cut button, it is going to give you two parts of the ring. The fact is, it is not going to do that. So if we cut, it gives you three pieces. The reason is, so remember these cutting lines. The reason is that the internal algorithm still applies first, second, still applies two cuts. And if it encounters a loop, it cannot deal with it. These two planes were not cut at the same time. They are cut in a sequential order. So when one plane is cutting a loop, it won't be able to separate it into two parts unless we are talking about non-regional cut, unless we are talking about this kind of cut. Oh wait, so the D diameter is different. What I wish to show you is, unless this is a full cutting plane, FULL, full, entire cutting plane, then it separates the loop into two parts. If you have a regional cut, and if you only apply one cut, it is not going to separate this as two. So when LuBan encounters a loop, it is going to ignore the regional cut and separate it into two. So you will have two cut lines. And then it will apply the second cutting plane, which cuts the object which cuts this half into another two. And in the end, you will get three parts. So this is one of the limitations of the method. It cannot deal with loop at the current version. Last but not the least, when I work on this new algorithm, I have also fixed a hidden bug in modular cut. The bug is very deep in the code. So if you are watching this video, I highly recommend you to update LuBan, because the modular cut method will be more robust now. In our Facebook group, some users have shown images with missing small triangles along the cut line, and my reply was the model might have defects. Some models, yes, indeed have defects. Other models doesn't have defects. Other models do not have defects. Those missing triangles were caused by a bug, which has been fixed. So I highly recommend you to get this version of LuBan, because modular cut is a highly useful function. Thank you for your attention.